Hello everyone. The following is a tutorial going over the different selection methods in Photoshop. We're going to start with an image of the Sequoia Forest and Mountain Range in California. And first off, we're going to change this bright and sunny photo to something a little more ominous and darker. With brightness and contrast, we're going to lower the brightness, up the contrast, hit OK. I'm going to go back up to Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation, and adjust some of these settings. I'm going to lower the lightness, lower the saturation, and I'm going to colorize it. If you move the adjustment of the hue, you'll see it changes the whole photo to a monochrome version within that color range. I'm going to go with this bluish tone. Hit OK. Alright, let's look at some selection methods. We're going to start with the Marquee tool, which is the rectangular selection tool. The shortcut is M. You create a rectangle across a portion of your drawing. You can delete the pixels within it. You can move around the border and manipulate pixels somewhere else in the drawing. Remember though, pixels are only affected on the drawing layer that you have selected. Another trick is Ctrl J, which copies and creates a new layer with the same pixels that you had selected within that layer, on the new layer. Now let's look at the Lasso tool. The Lasso tool creates a custom polygon. It's great for outlining edges and quickly selecting large areas. So as you could see, you could get very detailed with how you outline the edge of the mountain range. I'm going to just do it very quickly. If you go across the whole thing, now you've selected all the sky above the mountain range. You can delete those pixels. You could move those pixels up, selection tool, shortcut V. Or you could go down to your new layer button, create a new layer, and fill those pixels with a color. Now that area of color is a new layer above your photo. You can move that around, or you could delete it. Now let's go to the Magic Wand tool. The Magic Wand tool selects areas of similar color and tone. You can see I clicked and it selected a large area that's that same kind of light blue. If you go up to the tolerance and adjust it, you'll see it changes how it selects. A low tolerance selects a small and precise area. Say you change it to 100. This is going to select a very large area. Another thing you can do with the Magic Wand is add to areas that you've already selected. So by holding Shift and pressing somewhere else, you add those pixels. If you hold Alt, it subtracts them. And you'll see a little plus and minus form by the Magic Wand tool. So here I'm adding areas to that selection. You can also use two different forms of selection at once. So I've started with the Magic Wand. Now if I hold Shift, it's going to add the area of my outline with the Lasso tool. So you can see it's added that area I just selected. Same is true if I hold Alt. Now it just subtracted that area. Let's use the Magic Wand tool and pick some areas that we want to delete from this photo. I'm using the Wand tool to get some precise edges, and now I'm coming in with the Lasso to just clean out some broader areas that don't need to be as accurate. I'm going to delete out the whole sky, and I've deleted some areas of the trees. Now let's look at another method for isolating pixels using a blending selection tool. I'm going to take this photo of a drawing, and up the brightness and contrast. If you double click on the layer, it brings up blending modes. If you move from black to white, it's going to subtract the black tones from the drawing. As you can see, it deleted my lines from the pen drawing. If I move from the white toward the dark side, it's going to start to remove all white from the drawing. If you adjust it just right, it'll leave your pen lines pretty nicely intact. You can just quickly crop out the rest of what you don't need, and it should leave you with something like this. Really nice pen lines, isolated with no other noise. You can see, you can move those around. You can bring them into your sequoia forest photo. So where I've deleted those areas, you can start to bring in other pixels from other drawings and start to create cool collages. As you can see, these are just groups of layers from the same drawing that I've subtracted out the white to just leave the pen marks. Let me show you another quick trick for getting pixels from one file quickly into another. If you go to the layer and click Duplicate Layer, you can select from the pull down another open file within Photoshop. Click it. You can change the name of the layer. Let's call this Lines. Click OK. Go to the file you selected, and now those lines should be there. Remember, you can move these around. You can use Control-T, transform to make this bigger. You can also adjust your layer order and bring that to the front. A quick way to get lines into an open Photoshop file. And there's your final collage. Thanks for watching.